What I'm telling you is African history. When the Europeans finally arrived and heard these stories, they went and did their own interviews and they asked, how did this... Look, I have great respect for women. I have great respect for them. Do you know what it means for God to entrust the survival of humanity to a woman? To give the woman a womb. I'm not talking about nature. I'm talking about nurture. God so trusts the woman that he bonds the infant with her. If that responsibility were given to a man, maybe some of us will not be here. Many years ago, there was a famine in a certain land. The famine was so bad that human civilizations had to scatter. Rain did not fall for many years. Crops and animals died. Pets, what are you talking about? We are talking about food, you are talking about pets. It was so severe that it bent the civilization of humanity. These people occupied the regions we now call sub-Saharan Africa. That was before the coming of the Europeans. It is believed that an African traditional rain caller, these people who are able to conjure rain, was casting spells and incantations and made a mistake in the code, and then it ceased the rain for 5 years. Hey! I wasn't there, but that's what they said.
You were there. Why are you asking me this simple question?
An apprentice made an error in the incantations and then it blocked the heavens. Animals died, people died. It was a terrible crisis. And children were the most vulnerable in that season because they could not contain hunger. And almost every day a child died. But here's the twist. There was a man who had 6 wives in the same settlement and had 40 children in the same settlement. And throughout the famine period, he didn't lose a single child.
How can you tell me this story?
Hey! What I'm telling you is African history. When the Europeans finally arrived and heard these stories, they went and did their own interviews and they asked, how did this man keep such a large family throughout a famine? And so the story came out. Because firewood was the only resource, in the evenings, these 6 African mothers came together and said they were not going to bury any of their 40 kids. They were going to use the resource available to sustain their family. So every evening they'll go into the forest and gather a lot of firewood and come back to the house. And when they come, they'll set a very big fire with the wood and then place a big black pot on top of it. And the children knew the pot because that is the pot mommy has been cooking with. So anytime they see the pot on fire, they are excited. The 40 children are happy. They are fanning the fire. They are jubilating. They are playing around the fire because they are expectant that at the end of the day, food will come from the pot for them, right? And sometimes food came. And sometimes too, they'll wait and play into the midnight, get exhausted and sleep. And the next morning, you can't get up and ask for food because even the food in your presence will not reach you. How much more sleeping and waking up? They eat in groups. If you miss it, that is it. So they'll play until they each get exhausted and sleep off. The trick here is that sometimes the content of the pot was not food. It was stones submerged inside water. But because it gave them the boiling sensation, women had a way of placing the lid on the pot to be able to collect back the vaporized water, yet giving the impression of a boiling pot. Yet the content of the pot was never food. Now, these 6 African mothers fed their 40 children with hope. In times of difficulty, in times of chaos, in times of pain and shame, hope is tangible. The Bible says hope does not disappoint. Hope is God's resource to you. Have hope and it will not disappoint. Bye.
Fundy.